Women in Iran who started a no to hijab movement. Hundreds of women shared videos of their bare heads. Just 2 months later, a young woman has been beaten to death over her hijab. If in India we focus on the right to wear what we want, how come the same conversation can't even be had in Iran? And this is a country which has just been inducted into the SCO, and this is a country which has been pushing all barrels to be a part of the economic recovery plan and the economic proliferation plan with India, with the United States, with Russia, with China. But still, if you look at their social structure and the way they treat their women, it's still something that comes out of the Bronze Age. Joining us on the platform to talk more about this is Mr. Firoz Bhakt Ahmed, educationist and former Chancellor of Maulana Azad National Urdu University. Yana Mir, Editor-in-Chief of the Real Kashmir News, also joins us on the show. Lubna Kamal, Impar Media panelist, is also here with us. And last but by no means the least, Mr. Mohommed Ali Shah, Impar Media panelist, joining us on the program as well.
Nobody wants to say anything to China. The world is allowing women to get suppressed and persecuted in Afghanistan and Iran. Nobody wants to, take any panga with Afghanistan. Nobody wants to say anything to Iran's regime. Why? Then what do we have these human rights organizations for? Just to do propaganda against India.
Mohommed Ali Shah, Yana is right. It's also the Western media that often fails to talk about the real issues in the world. You know, Iran, of course, majority Shia population, 82% of their GDP is through exports of oil and natural gas. You know, they seem to be coming up as a country, Mohommed Ali Shah, that will definitely, rule the roost in certain parts and certain avenues. But unless, this kind of, an atmosphere prevails and reforms are not instituted, I think Iran is going to go down the Afghanistan and Pakistan way. And they also have aspirations of becoming nuclear, Mohommed Ali Shah.
Well, Vineet, firstly, I would like to say my commendations to the women of Iran who had the courage and the guts to come out and protest against the oppression, against being forced to wear hijab. And I think wearing hijab should be a personal choice. I think it should be protested when it's being torped, when it's being lugged upon you, that you have to wear hijab. Come on, then you should protest it. When you're being oppressed, you should protest it. Also, when it's being forced upon you that, okay, you cannot wear hijab, then again. So I think I'm a great fan for women empowerment, Vineet. Always, I was, when we have women marching on the Kartavya Path, that was Rajpath earlier, I was instrumental of the fact of advocating lady officers to march on 20th January there. So I strongly feel that women, no one has the right to give, to bully the ladies that, okay, wear this, wear that. And let me tell you, nations like Iran and Saudi Arabia, I have lived in Saudi Arabia. So I'm telling you, there's something known as mutawwa. Mutawwa is what? Mutawwa is an official, formal, recognized moral police. A mutawwa is not moral policing. There's a difference between a moral police and moral policing. So mutawwas are, you'll be surprised to know, they are actually officially moral policing. Like the way we have traffic police, we have crime police to catch crime, right? So they have moral police where their job is to make sure that women do not come out without abaya, that no men are found on the streets in prayer time, in Saudi Arabia that is. Similarly, in Iran, it is utterly ridiculous, regressive, and it is very sad to see the state of women because they are being oppressed over there. The Irani women, when they come to India, they go to Goa and they go to other places and you meet them. I've met tourists, they say they are from Iran. And they find a lot of liberty, a lot of freedom and a lot of freedom to wear what they want, how they want to wear. But here in conservative societies, it's not just about it's mainly Shia dominated or anything. And secondly, as the point that you brought out about the Western media does not talk about this, I'm very surprised because Iran and US are not best of the friends. The whole world knows this. Whereas something else Iran will do, the Western media will highlight that, but here this is not being spoken about. So I think when the women in Iran are giving in solidarity when they stand for their 22-year-old sister who died in custody of the moral police. I think it speaks great volume that they are now evolving, they're coming of age, and it's no more that you can oppress them the way you would do earlier. I mean, there were some nations where it was very surprising that, shocking and utterly painful to see women being stoned. What for? I mean, so it's double standards.
But Ali, do you think Iran is the only country where this problem persists? Don't you think there are other Arab countries, which continue, to have these atrocities committed on women? And most of the times they're not reported because the media itself is so curtailed and censored.
This is not the only country. There are other nations as well. And it is actually disheartening. It is, I would say, shameful and regressive. But yes, Iran, it is very much highlighted, and it is predominant, and it's prevalent, and it's mainly in Iran, in conservative societies like this. So you cannot, how long will you hold a horse? You tie up a horse and you say, now you cannot run. One day when you open the horse will gallop, it will canter, it will move away. You cannot hold the women over there oppressive that, no, I will impose this upon you. You can't impose anyone's decision, for heaven's sake. It should be their personal choice. And I think the women have taken a very bold step now. Many years back, Vineet, when my father was a diplomat in Saudi Arabia, that time we had heard a story where women in Saudi Arabia, the women weren't allowed to drive at that time over there. How regressive again. So one fine day, 20 women said, let's break the chains, let's break the rules, come on. And they drove across. They were arrested later on, that's a different thing. And it was very sad. But now, slowly and gradually, it's a good sign.
Okay, right. Mohommed Ali Shah, quickly, and then Lubna, we conclude then.
I think the society will not change unless and until we change our own selves. So I think the change has started, and I commend the women of Iran once again, and I think the women of Saudi Arabia were there when I mentioned decades earlier when they said, okay, let's break the laws and let us make a change now and let's start driving. So I think, yes, it's the winds of change have started, and it's not long when today, when we talk about women empowerment, when we have households telling men that you please go accompany your sister because she would be safe. But soon it's going to be the time when, when parents would say, son, take your sister along, you'll be safe if you take your sister along. So it's about time that, the society is evolving, it's changing, and the Gulf countries...
Okay, all right. Lubna, quickly please. 15 seconds.
See, I doubt if world leaders or politicians would do anything at all, because they are scared of Iran and most of the Middle East countries somehow. And all what they can do is interfere with India. Whatever is happening in India, that is interfere with their job. But
good points there. Good points. We have run out of time. Thank you, folks. But definitely, what the consensus is that reform needs to be a mandate now in countries like Iran.